Hey everyone, welcome to Pineapple Knits, a knitting and spinning videocast. I'm Marina, and you can connect with me on the web at Pineapple Yarn, especially Instagram where I'm most active. And I'm also the dyer behind Pineapple Yarn, so you can visit my hand-dyed yarn company at pineappleteyarn.com. I hope you're having a really great week. It's been about 2 weeks since I last joined you here, and if you're a new viewer, thanks so much for tuning in and sharing some time with me. I would love if you would take a minute and subscribe to the podcast so you can see all the new episodes and not miss one. And to everyone who has joined the podcast before and my regular viewers, thank you so much for joining me. It really means a lot, and I love your comments, and I just love chatting with you, so thank you. It is a really beautiful fall day here on the South Carolina coast. It's cloudy. The sun is kind of coming in and out, which, okay, cloudy weather, not my favorite. Not my favorite by any means, but we've had about 3 days of it and it's really cooled it down. So it's kind of fun, low to mid 70s and pulling some sweaters out or wearing a shawl and not feeling like you're going to melt in 5 minutes. It's kind of nice. But that's been really nice to just see the change in the weather. And so that actually prompted me to really put in some effort with my never-ending quest to find the perfect chai tea. Y'all know that I am obsessed with chai tea. I've been talking about it, I think, since I first started this podcast. And so when I say I want chai tea, I want something very spicy and very, I guess, like a true chai. And I think I found a contender. That's what I'm drinking right now. This is called Blue Lotus Chai Traditional Masala Chai. And I actually got this on Amazon, so it was very convenient. And it's really neat because it's a powder, and it's basically the black tea as well as all the other spices that are in a traditional chai. It's a very fine grind, and it has a little tiny wood spoon inside in the tea. And you just add it to some hot water. I think you can boil water. I don't do that because I'm always looking for the fast option, but I just add hot water and mix in the tea with a little bit of stevia and add some almond milk, and it's so good. It's really good. I can imagine if I wanted to make the perfect cup, I think I would do the tea and put it on the stove, do like a coconut milk, heat it up, and then put a vanilla simple syrup in it, and I think that would be the best. But this is my fast option, and I'm totally happy with it right now. It's a really nice blend of spices. It does have a little bit of a kick, which I love. So yeah, I'm so excited about that, and it's been delicious. And the other thing I really like is that it doesn't have any sweeteners or dairy or anything in it. So you can add the sweeteners you want or add the milks that you want, which I really love. So if you're in the market for a really good chai, you should check that out because it is so good. And I forgot to say, this is one of my favorite mugs. This is from my friend Shauna of Adelaide Cottage. She sent it to me as a gift last year, and I love this mug so much. And I've been using it a ton because my favorite mug, my all-time favorite mug, and I don't think I have it in here with me. Yeah, it has a giant crack on the side, and I think I'm going to have to use it for a pencil holder, which is really sad. So this is my new favorite mug of choice, which I normally only drink tea out of this, which I do drink tea basically every day. And the other one was just for coffee, and now I'm drinking all the beverages out of this. So this one is getting used a lot. Okay, let's move on to knitting. I do want to point out this is my Beekeeper Cardigan by Marie Green. It was knit in my yarn, pineapple yarn, in the colorway Honeycomb. I've worn it before on the podcast. It's nothing new, but if you're new, I thought I would point it out. It's still a little warm inside to be wearing a sweater, and I know just moving around, drinking tea, I'm going to get warm. So I decided I would put on my mannequin, which I don't think y'all have seen for a while. And I'm in the studio, and I'll probably be filming out here from here on out. And yeah, so it's kind of fun to have the mannequin in the back and dressed in the knits, especially when I can't be wearing any knits because it's too warm. But okay, let's talk about what I've been knitting. I finished my Spoondrift shawl. It is gorgeous. Unfortunately, I did not block it and, soak it and block it in time for the podcast. So you're just gonna have to wait till the next one to see how it turned out. Needless to say, it is stunning, stunning off the needles, and I cannot wait to wear it. It is very beautiful. So that's finished. I'm just not going to show it this week. I do have a half-finished object that I will share with you now. I've been working on a pair of socks for my daughter for her birthday, which is coming up in a few weeks. So I still have enough time, which is good because, you feel like you start ahead of time and then, at least for me, I get distracted by all the pretty things. So there you go. All right, so this is the sock. I did finish one of the socks that I'm going to give her. The main color is from Hue Loco, and it is Hippo Parade. I bought it years ago, like 2 or 3 years. Oh gosh, not 2 years ago. I would say 3 or 4 years ago. So it's been a while. And I added to it, this is my colorway Profound, and it is a really pretty violet. Let's see if I can get a close-up of both of those. They're so pretty together. I thought this was such a good combo. And then I actually did this is like a 4x1 rib on the front because this is for my daughter. She's turning 9, but she's getting to the point where, a smaller adult size sock pattern will fit her. And so I actually did the rib on the front so it would just draw the stitches in a little bit more and give her some stretch. She loves really snug socks, so I think she'll really love these. And then this is where I am on the other one. I'm almost to the heel. I do have to say it's just basically a toe-up vanilla sock pattern with a little bit of rib in the front. And then I did do a German short row heel. Okay, so my camera just died, but anyway, moving on. I think I was saying about German short row heels. That's what I opted to do on this sock, and I loved it. I thought it was, I just think I don't know, I really like them. I think they're super efficient. Yeah, just a really great way to put kind of that contrasting heel if you want that, and it's a good alternative to cutting in a heel too, doing an afterthought heel. And you can also do German short row toes, which are great. I used to do that a lot and do like the provisional cast on, where I don't know if y'all are familiar, but I think it's Very Pink Knits. Stacy does amazing tutorials, and that's where I learned them. I just love her tutorials. They're so well done. And she does maybe there's different ways to do it. This is how I learned. You do a provisional crochet cast on and do a German short row. I mean, it's the same as a heel, which is so funny that heels and toes are the same, but they are. And so yeah, you just do it that way. I need to do that maybe for another pair of socks I do. I'm just so used to doing the 2-needle cast on, what is it called? I can't remember what it's called now. Anyway, I do that, and then I'll do like a German short row heel in it, but I love German short rows. They're so so cool compared to a wrap and turn short row. So anyway, tangent. These socks are so fun, and I have so much yarn left. I mean, a crazy, crazy amount, like a full skein of that. Obviously, toes and cuffs and heels don't take that much yarn, but even this, I still have so much of this left. So I will definitely, I love weighing yarn. I think it is just a really great way to see how much yarn you're using for your socks. And not just with children, but with myself and just knitting socks, I use like half a full skein. I mean, always I use like 50 grams. And, you know, side note, that's actually why I make my sock sets in my shop. That's why I do a 50-gram main skein of yarn, and then the accent is a 20-gram mini skein. So 70 grams is, unless you're doing a larger than average sock or a really long sock, that actually is I have found that's a pretty good amount. If you're just knitting a pair of socks, you don't want a lot of leftovers. But anyway, so that's that. And then I do have a finished object, and I totally forgot because I finished it a while back. I gotta see if I can go find that. Okay, I kind of changed my mind because I'm in the studio right now, and I know I can hear everyone in the house, and I know that everyone's happy. My kids are happy, and so I just don't want to go disrupt that because I know if I go in there, it's going to be a mess and everyone's going to need something. So they don't need anything right now. And so I'm not even going to go there. Anyway, so the next thing I wanted to show you, it's actually a finished object. It was my test knit for Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady, and it is the Spread the Love fingerless mitts. They are so beautiful. I'll put a picture in here. It was such a joy to knit these. I really, really loved test knitting for her. Kay is such a great person and a great designer. I was just really excited to be able to do that. So my daughter actually really was like, I want the fingerless mitts. She kind of claimed them for herself. And so we went through some yarn that I had, and I had some minis that had dyed up. I had told you about this last podcast, but I had some test colors knit up that I never released into the shop as full skeins. And so she chose a color that I will be releasing with my next shop update on the 25th of October. And I named it Plum Noir because it's just such a beautiful, deep, deep, rich, kind of pinky plum color. And it is so, it's just very, very beautiful, especially for fall. It's almost like vibrant and deep at the same time. It's a very deep color, but it's not muddied, I guess, which I really love and is kind of hard to find in colors, I think. So I loved it. It will be released, but these mitts were so fast, even with the cable on the front, and they only used 39 grams of yarn. The small size only used 39, and I believe, so there's two sizes. There's the small and the large. The large size, I believe, only takes half a skein of yarn, 50 grams. I could be wrong. But anyway, if you are looking for a quick, fairly quick gift knit, or if you I think these are really beautiful fingerless mitts, and please do go check out her pattern, Spread the Love. They were so fun to knit, and I would definitely put this in the category of gift knits, or, little accessories. They were so fun. So so that was another finished object that I had. And I'm trying to think, I have a lot of things going right now, which I hate, and I always do, but it is what it is. So I'm going to just go through my works in progress now. Okay, so the next work in progress I'm going to show you is my Sunshine Coast sweater. I want to wear this so badly, and I just don't know why I just don't knit it. I think part of it is that I have to think. And I've had a hard time doing that at night lately. I don't knit. I'll have a sock on the go that I knit from during the day, but I don't have knitting time during the day. It's just the way it is. But here's where I'm at right now. It's a little more green in person, but that's a pretty accurate color. I've split for the sleeves, and right now I'm just going down the sides. And one very cool feature I love about the sweater, you can see it, I'm going to show you on the back, is this, it's kind of a series of increases right there. And, this is a top-down sweater kind of with raglan increases, but it has this really cool, I guess, row of stitches with increases and decreases on either side. And that's going to continue down the sides. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I don't want to make a mistake. And the other thing is that I am knitting this with let me see if I have the ball band. I do. It's called Bamboo Pop, and it's half cotton and half bamboo. I do think it has been very comfortable to knit. It has a looser gauge, and so I'm fine with that. This is I should say this is Tropical Green. That's what it's called. And yeah, but I'm nervous, and this is maybe just like one of my knitting insecurities or or what have you. But I'm nervous when I am knitting this that I'm just going to have looser stitches, looser rows. It's not going to be as forgiving as wool. I think wool is so forgiving when you block it. Everything just kind of evens out, all those little, the little spots. You know what? When it really comes down to it, who cares? Like I've wanted to knit this for a long time, and the cool thing is the neck is rolled like this, which I love. And yeah, I mean, I really, really love the fabric this is making. It's so soft. And it's lightweight. I kind of wanted a sweater when we go to the beach, which we do often, and you get that kind of cool breeze coming off the water, and you don't want to wear wool. It's not that cold, but you just need something to cover yourself up a little bit. That's kind of what I wanted it for. I don't know anything else about the pattern. I don't know what size I'm knitting. I don't know. So, and you know what? I might be lucky if I get it on Ravelry, because I rarely do. I'm just not super good with Ravelry, but at least I can only go up from here, right? Right. All right, so let me see. What else am I going to show you? Oh, you know what? One thing I wanted to say, thank you so much for all of your advice with my sad little boy socks last week. There were a few of you who responded, who left comments. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. There were some options that were very clever and that I hadn't thought of. And yeah, so I really appreciate that. They're kind of just sitting over there. I'm not really working on them. I need to just get busy and finish them, figure out a solution before he grows out of them, because they are none too big, I'll tell you that. But anyway, I actually do, speaking of child socks, I do have another finished object I'm going to show you. I keep thinking of these things. I really should write notes. My niece just had her first birthday, and so I made her a pair of socks. This is Knit Picks Felici, and I can't remember the colorway. But what I wanted to do, I kind of wanted to do an experiment with these, and since they were such tiny socks, I didn't put any contrasting heels, toes, or cuffs. I only used the yarn itself to see basically if I could do that. And so the toe and the heel and the cuff what you see is totally just a stripe. And so that was really fun. I was excited to do that. It, you know, if you're familiar with Felici, it's just a really, really soft merino wool yarn, self-striping from Knit Picks, very affordable. And they come in 50-gram balls. And so I used one on this and I still have extra left over. Yeah, it was really fun. And it kind of gave me a blueprint where I need to go with my son as far as his socks, because he really needs some socks. He needs some hand knit socks. And yeah, the circumference was really nice for my 3-year-old daughter as well. So good to know. It would be a nice little template of sorts for their socks. I'm so sorry. I'm just kind of scattered all over the place today. To be honest, I am trying to get this podcast in today because in addition to having 5 children, which there's always something that happens, I also have been working a lot in the studio, and there just have been things like in life popping up here and there. And I'm really afraid that if I don't get this podcast done today, then it's not going to get done. So thank you for sticking with me if you've made it this far, and I'll just keep going. I have been doing some spinning, which has been really great, and I haven't been super exact with it. I made a sample, and I just wanted to do like a really nice 2-ply, easy, and yeah, I don't really know how close it is to the sample, but I really just kind of wanted a mindless spin, something that was just a really fun spin and something to relax at the end of the day. And I don't know how perfect this yarn is going to be, but it's been really nice. It's been a really great spin. So this is what my current spin, this is what I'm working on. It is a really gorgeous fiber. It's a BFL from Dandelion and Daisies, who's a beautiful dyer, by the way. If you're not familiar with her work, I would recommend checking it out because she dyes yarn too, and it's so beautiful. Really, really beautiful. But that is the first ply that's done. And what I did, it came in a braid. I split the braid in half, and this bobbin, I actually split that half into 4 lengthwise pieces. So this spun up super quickly. The next, I apologize for the crinkling. I'm going to show you what the wool itself looks like. I'm just, for the second ply, I'm just basically spinning it as it's dyed. And so I do have a little piece off, but isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness. And this is the colors. They're just really warm, kind of like autumny. Yeah, it just kind of reminded me of autumn. I purchased this in the summer, but I thought it was so pretty. So I love BFL too, and it's just been so fun to spin. It's so soft, but kind of like toothy and woolly at the same time. It's really nice. So that's that. I thought it appropriate that since it's autumn, that I spin autumn colors. I usually am spinning bright colors, so this is nice. Or sparkle, or sparkle. This is beautiful though. I'm really excited about it, and I could see it becoming just a really beautiful accessory, like a hat or something. It'd be so cute as a slouchy hat to wear in autumn, but we'll see if I get there before winter. It might not be cold enough here to wear it, to be honest, but it's still really pretty, regardless of the season. The other 2 things that I wanted to show you, the first one I actually received, like, I think I received it probably close to the last podcast, and it must have been right after I filmed, and so I have been holding on to this for the past 2 weeks, not spinning it because I wanted to show you it in the package. I saw that Hedgehog Fibers was going to do a fiber club and to watch in August for spots. And so I was just like waiting. And so several months later, when August came, checking. Meanwhile, they sent me an email saying that they were going to open up Fiber Club. But whatever, that's okay. I was fortunate enough to purchase one of the spots, and I was so excited. And so I just received the first month's subscription. So skip this. I'll put a timestamp, and please skip this if you haven't received yours. I'm sure you have, but who knows. And so this is this month's Fiber Club from Hedgehog Fibers. It is 125 grams of top. It's 50% silk and 50% merino wool. It is so gorgeous. I love it. It's so soft. It's just such a random mix of color. And I'm sure, you know, it's definitely predominantly turquoise for sure. But one thing I love about fiber, and not a lot of people dye fiber this way, I love when it's really interesting like this, but you're not necessarily going to see all the speckles and all of the, you know, little bits as you spin it up. It's just kind of an interesting design element before you spin it up. And I just think that's really, really fun. And so I really appreciate that they did that. But yeah, I am not sure how I'm going to spin this up. I don't know. I need to plan it though. I'm sure it's going to be such a fun spin. Half silk and half merino. It's just, this is going to be a fun spin. So I wanted to show you that. I love this. Like when you see little pops like right here. I think that is just gorgeous. So I thought you'd be interested to see that. I was very, very excited to receive that in the mail. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is the Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month Club box for October. And so if you haven't received yours or you don't want the surprise to be spoiled, again, I'll put a timestamp here. So you can skip it if you want. But I skipped last month's because it sounded like it was going to be very autumny, or autumnal, I should say. And that's just not really, I was going to say that's not really my thing as I'm sitting in front of the sweater. And I just showed an autumnal bobbin of yarn. But anyway, I skipped last month. And I want to show you what the box looked like when I opened it up. It was kind of this orangey plaid and this manila envelope that says Top Secret. And I think it's kind of like a whodunit box, kind of like a, you know, a murder mystery, or like the Game of Clue, kind of that thing. And inside here were a whole bunch of different info about the fiber. There's actually, it's a whole story. I haven't even read it yet, but it's a whole story that goes along with the fiber, which is just so funny. Or it's so clever. I have no idea how they think these things up, but I really appreciate it, and it's just, I get such a kick out of it. But this is a murder mystery knit along. I believe it says a lovely lace shawl. Let's be honest, I'm probably not going to be knitting lace because I won't get it done. So something really beautiful will come of it. But I wanted to show you these that came with the box as well. This is just so funny. To me, this looks like mugshots or what have you. But the cool thing is there's a little story on the back about all the different fibers, and they all have characters, and it's just so funny. So in the box, I will show you what character I received. I thought this plaid looked so much like Sherlock Holmes, or I'm sure that's kind of the feel they were trying to get. I just thought it was so cute. Okay, before I show you the fiber though, I'll show you what the inside of the box looks like. So there is an evidence box, or an evidence bag. There is a little, I guess, envelope that says confidential. I don't know if you can see that. It has a fingerprint, which is so funny. And then the back is sealed with caution tape. I'm assuming it says caution. Maybe it's like evidence. I don't know. And so I will show you what's in those in a minute. But the fiber that I received is Maharaj Meadowbrook, it says. And I'll have to read the backstory to this fiber when I have some time, but it's just a really beautiful blend. It looks like a, a blended top. I'll actually read it. It's a Cordale wool top, bamboo, and mulberry silk, 70-15-15. And which is, I love spinning Cordale. It's such a fun knit because it has such a long fiber staple or fiber length that it's like effortless. It's so nice. But anyway, so this has like turquoise and a really pretty burnt orange and maybe like a light green, brown. This is going to be really, really pretty knit up. So there's that. This was, let's see, this was 3 ounces. And then in the evidence bag was a blend called Secretary Starlight. And this was 4 ounces. It is an undyed Cordale, bamboo, and mulberry silk. I had to read it. But this is really, really pretty. I don't know if you can see the shine on that, but that silk and that bamboo is just really, really pretty. So that will be fun to either blend with it or, I could even dye it or blend it on my blending board. That is going to be really fun. And then, let's see, in the confidential envelope, I'm going to go ahead and open it. There was this really neat vial of sequins and beads and a felting needle. So that's kind of fun. The cool thing is with Paradise Fibers is they always have like a really fun craft or, suggestions how you can use your fiber. So that's always helpful and, kind of fun if you want to try a different craft or you're not sure what to do with your fiber. It also came with a soak wool wash. I think it's in the scent Lacy. I'm not familiar with that scent, but I'll give it a try. And let's see what else was in here. Oh, the little sticker, the little lamb sticker, which is kind of their emblem, I guess. And, ooh. I've looked at this box, but I've kind of forgot what's in here. This is a cranberry pomegranate tea. I will definitely be drinking this. It's from Stash, so it's probably really good. I also had a button, and apologies if my camera's not focusing, but I don't know. It's just the way it is. So that button, I'm not really sure what that's for. A lot of these things I'm not sure what they're for because I haven't read through all the information. And then this, which is this super cute little progress keeper. And as you can see, it's kind of, it is a game piece. If I can get it to focus. How cute is that? So it's like the game of Clue, which, oh my goodness. That's just so clever. And so that's really, really exciting. But I wanted to share that with you because I just really look forward every month to receiving it, and so do my kids. They always want to open it up with me, so I always wait until everyone's free and we can sit down and look at it. And yeah, it's really, really fun. It's always so neat to see what they put in the box, and I have put a link down in my notes if you're interested in checking it out and want to get one of your own. So that is all I've been working on this week, and I hope that you are getting a lot of knitting and crafting time and spinning time. Yeah, I feel like this time of year is just so busy with all the things. But I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about what's happening in the studio this week and what's happening in the shop. So this past week, I dyed all of the October clubs and mailed them out. Thank you all so much for your support of my first ever installment of clubs, Pineapple Yarn Clubs. It was a blast, just bringing these mood boards to life, and you know, the colors and the ideas and the feels that I had in my brain to come out onto yarn, and it was such a great time. So I hope you all love your yarn and really enjoy knitting and crocheting and crafting with it. And those of you who ordered the Glow Club, I really hope that you enjoy your candles as well. They were so much fun to choose the fragrance and yeah, pour those candles for you. It was so much fun. So I am actually going to be releasing pre-orders for the November Club, and that will be happening, actually they will be live as this video airs. So you can head on over to pineappleyarn.com if you're interested. I have 3 clubs. The Sun Club is a bold, bright, kind of neon-y, you know, I said last week, kind of like screaming off the skein colors, not for the faint of heart. And those are going to be so much fun this month. Very, very fun. And I also have the Low Country Club. It's kind of you know, kind of an homage to where I live. I absolutely love the culture and the people where I live, and so I wanted to yeah, I kind of just wanted to honor that. And this month I am going to be doing, it's called Indigo. And the reason I had the idea for Indigo, I knew that it was an important, I guess an important crop here, you know, back in the day when agriculture was in its heyday. And I believe it was the second most important crop, which is, I found very interesting. I didn't know. And I also didn't know, just in general, that indigo is not a blue flower. I knew it was a flower, but I do remember seeing a pink flower on an indigo plant, which I was like, indigo is such a deep blue. I was like, what? Why is this not blue? I don't know. Anyway, I obviously don't do natural dyeing, right? But anyway, this month is going to be indigo. You can see from the mood board, it's going to be just a really beautiful, rich, deep blend of blues, and plus probably other various colors. I never just stick with one color. But my Love Country Club is really fun because it gives me a chance to kind of go off the beaten path with my normal dyeing, which is usually pretty bold. And, you know, some months might be some like really rich colors. Some months might be, you know, some more subtle colors. So that's kind of fun. Fun for me, just have a little variety as far as my dyeing goes. And then my third club is the Glow Club. This is a really cool yarn and candle club. I love, I came up with a recipe for candles that will be included in my advent calendars this year. And I just enjoyed it so much. I thought, maybe other people like candles as much as I do. This is kind of like a seasonal yarn and candle club. I definitely had a seasonal scent in October's installment, which was Harvest Moon. It was very autumnal feeling. So, those of you who ordered it, I hope you love it. I really, really loved it. And yeah, this month is actually brown sugared fig, I believe, is what I called it. And I can't wait to make the candles and to dye up this yarn. It is going to be really, really beautiful. So those are the 3 clubs for November, and you have an option of just purchasing a month, and so you can kind of pick and choose which clubs you want. And then you also have a chance or an opportunity to purchase 3 months or 6 months as well. So let's see, I did have a couple things that I wanted to say about that. The pre-orders will be up until basically like that ending week in October. I will put exact dates. I don't have a calendar in front of me. But I do want to give myself a little more time this month just to get all my dyeing done and the candles poured, because I'm also packing advent calendars. And so it's just a lot all at once. And I'm having a shop update, which I will talk about in a minute. But yeah, so I'm going to give myself a little more time this month. And so those orders are open now. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't have it with me right now, so I can't show you, but I'm really happy that I was able to do this. If you're familiar with this club, the candles are beeswax and coconut oil. It's a kind of a ratio, recipe that I came up with. And the reason that I don't use like a paraffin wax or a soy wax that is already blended is because I just wanted to give you a really clean burn. And when you're burning candles, you're breathing that in, and so I just wanted it to be like a really premium candle. I use cotton wicks in my candles as well. These are the kind of candles that I like to burn, and so I wanted to provide those to you as well. So naturally, the cost of these is a lot higher than like a paraffin wax or a soy wax, that's the way it is. It's fine. But I was able to source a much less expensive source for the beeswax as well as the containers. And so I will be increasing the size of the candle this month to, I believe, 5 or 6 ounces, which is a pretty good size candle. And it will be at no additional cost to you. So I was so happy to be able to do that and just give you a really good value for the price of the club. So I will show you, as soon as I pour a candle, I will show you the size of it, and I will also post pictures of it on the listing so you know exactly what you're getting. So if you ordered a club from October and you haven't opened it yet, I want you to skip ahead because I am going to show some photos as well as some yarn I saved from this month's clubs, and I don't want to spoil the surprise. So, so yeah, skip ahead. The first yarn I'm going to show you is from the Low Country Club from October. It was called Fresh Fallen Pecans, and this is the yarn I dyed for it, and I just think it is so, so pretty. It has some really gorgeous kind of peach and tan going into some more ruddy shades, and then obviously just a spattering of delicate sprinkles, several different colors all over the skein. And if you ordered this in a sock club, this came with a really, really gorgeous, almost a, it was just a very warm brown mini, and it was almost like a mahogany color. Absolutely gorgeous. One thing I love about these is that I use, and this is kind of normal with my dyeing too, I use a mix of the bottled dyes, kind of like the pre-mixed dyes, and then as well as a lot of the primary shades. I love making my own custom blends of dyes. So these clubs are a really fun way for me to experiment and kind of hone my skills with that. So this was the Low Country Club for October. And now I'm going to show you the Sun colorway for October. My inspiration of this, I was thinking of, you know, harvest time in October, where, you know, in gardens and farms, you kind of have like that last push of produce. And so even into October, you are, you know, you're just experiencing so much fresh produce, and yeah, nothing has really like completely died away yet. And that's kind of what it reminded me of. I was thinking of like melons and not so much like pumpkins and kind of fall type produce, but I was definitely had melons on my mind when I dyed this. So I caked this up because I kept a sock set for myself. So this is the Sun colorway for October. It is a blend of a very, very warm fuchsia, almost like a fuchsia red. It has a lot of different colors of neon speckles. It has kind of like a pale yellow in it. The speckles are orange and green and purple. I mean, there's so many different speckles in here. So this is going to knit up to some really fun socks. And then the mini that I included in the sock set, I dyed up a really fun kind of cantaloupe color, and I apologize for how messy this is. This is a 20-gram ball of this cake, I guess. But these two will go together. I just thought that they were so fun. I can't wait till I knit them up. They are going to be so great, so bright. Those are going to make some really, really crazy socks. And then my last, I did keep one colorway from each club, and that's probably what I'm going to keep doing because you can never have too much yarn, right? So anyway, the last colorway is from my Glow Club. This was Harvest Moon. I think this just evokes such a almost like a, you know, a autumnal feel, but not really in like the traditional sense. So this was the sock set pairing of Harvest Moon, and I did a really pretty red going into some kind of red pinks. There's blues in there, kind of like teal, deep teal greens, as well as some I guess kind of wheat colored speckles. There's some orange speckles. I mean, it's pretty crazy. There's a lot of speckles in there. And then this is the mini that came with it. I think this color is the perfect color of wheat. And that's why I dyed it that color, because I wanted it to be very harvesty. And yeah, I thought this was kind of a good autumnal. For me, it felt very autumnal. But I wanted to show you, I've started knitting it up into a sock, and this is one of my socks that I started knitting up for my children. I'll probably give this to my son, because the girls, they just, I mean, they love all the socks I knit them, but they really love those girl colors, traditional girl colors. So this is it knit into a sock. And this is, let's see, that is 52 stitches around. And I wanted to show you how it was knit up because I love it. And then I have this cute, cute little sheep progress keeper that my friend Ruth, my fiber share partner, sent to me. And so that's been really fun to use. But yeah, I really love this knit up. I thought it was so pretty. So that is, or those are the colorways from this month. And yeah, I was really happy with them. And I hope you were too. So I kind of alluded to this before, but I wanted to let you know that my next shop update, and this will be the first one out of the studio, it will be the first official shop update from when we moved here, which was, wow, I mean, it was several months ago now. I can't remember. But this will be my first official shop update for Pineapple Yarn. It will be Friday, October 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time at pineappleyarn.com. I plan on having yarn, lots of yarn. I plan on having mostly fingering my Lonnie fingering weight base, which is a 75/20/5 superwash merino nylon, and my DK. And I vary between two DK bases. I have an original DK, which is a 100% superwash merino, as well as a Lonnie DK, which is the same blend as my Lonnie fingering, a 75/25 blend. I like them both, so I don't know. I don't know why I have to, but I just do. That's what I'm kind of focusing on for this update. I might throw a couple things in here and there. Right now, I am really focusing on dyeing up the advent calendars, and I am nearly finished with all the dyeing. And I'll tell you, wow, I am so pleased with them this year. I laid all of the minis that I had out, how I'm going to present them, you know, day one, day two, because I am dyeing them in a really fun gradient. So you can knit every day, you can knit one of the minis into a project of your choice. And I was so excited about it. And yeah, they're going to be so beautiful knit up. So I'm working on those. Those will go out around the beginning of November. So I'm just busy getting those wrapped up. And I think that's all I was going to share with you today. I've been working really, really hard in the studio, and I couldn't be more thrilled. Yeah, I love doing this. Yarn and knitting and spinning is definitely my passion, and I just want to thank you so much for allowing me to dye yarn, and I know that it brings me so much joy, so I am just so excited to be able to bring that to you as well with some really fun colorways and products. But thank you again for joining me this week. If you like the podcast, I'd love if you would give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will join you again hopefully in the next couple of weeks. And I hope you have an awesome day. Bye!